Prabhupada. My name is Shivani. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. My name is Shivani. We are actually from Delhi, India, and but we work at Northwestern University in Chicago right now.
How you came to Krishna consciousness?
Though it's a very long story, but we can make it little short. So when we were young, we were very attracted to Barsana, and we had no interest in Vrindavan. We wanted to be very close to Radharani. We considered her as our mother, and for the last 8 years, we were like worshipping her. We had a small picture of Radharani, and we were worshipping her. So after completing our PhDs in biotechnology, we got a job at Ohio State University in Columbus, Ohio. And when we moved there, like our job was not going on so well. Like we were facing some struggles in our work, so we were a little frustrated. We wanted to go to some temple. So we looked on the internet that is there any temple nearby. So we found that there is an ISKCON temple, and we went there. But when we went there, it was like afternoon time, and the temple was closed. We couldn't find any devotees there. Nobody was there. We didn't know anything about ISKCON. And in India, when we used to go to Barsana and our parents used to take us to Vrindavan, we used to see ISKCON temple. But our parents never allowed us to go in ISKCON because they all used to think that, oh, it's a temple for the foreigners. And when we have so many temples in Vrindavan or Barsana, why do we have to go to any foreigner temple for the foreigners? So we never stepped inside ISKCON. So we had no idea about Prabhupada. And in India, mostly people, they don't know anything about Krishna. Krishna is considered as one of the gods. So we also didn't know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But we were in love with Radharani. So we just wanted to visit Krishna temple. We wanted to see Radharani. But there, we didn't find anybody. Even when we entered the temple, the curtains were closed, so we couldn't have darshans of Radharani. So we were really sad.
But there was a piece of cake which was kept as prasadam, so we grabbed so many pieces of cake and we thought this is a nice place, at least we can come sometimes and have cake. So we just used to visit that place at that time when there was nobody, and we used to
See lots of
prasadam from there. But on Janmashtami day, it started.
Yeah, on Janmashtami day, like Janmashtami came and we wanted to really have darshans of Radharani. So we wrote an email to, we searched on Google, ISKCON, we just wrote Krishna temple in Columbus, Ohio, and then we found that there is an ISKCON temple which is just a block away from Ohio State University. So, and we got a reply within 5 minutes from the temple president that, oh, there is a very big temple and there is a very big festival, it's Krishna's birthday and you are invited with your family and friends. And the moment we entered that temple, oh my God, it was totally different. The whole experience was so different. Initially we didn't find anybody, but the moment we entered, we saw ocean of devotees there on Janmashtami, and it was so inspiring to meet devotees. We had no idea about who Krishna is. When we went on the altar, in front of the altar, we could recognize Radha and Krishna. But we saw on the left hand side, there were two similar looking, according to us, they were people, two similar looking people. And since we were twins, we were thinking, oh, they are also twins. They are just like us. So who are they? We don't know. So we had completely no idea about Gaur-Nitai. And on the right hand side, we could see Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra, so we could recognize them. So there, we got 2 books of Prabhupada. We got Science of Self-Realization. Devotees gave us Science of Self-Realization and Krishna book, and we started to read those books, and we really liked Science of Self-Realization. So we asked someone that, are there some kind of classes who can, someone can teach us these books? So there was a Prabhupada disciple, and there was a devotee, Prem Sindhu Prabhu, who actually brought us to Krishna consciousness. He was the first one who talked to us, and then they told us that you have to come the second day because today it's very busy. There is no time for devotees to talk to you personally, but come tomorrow, there is another festival. And we had no idea what the other day festival is. So we went there, and it was Prabhupada's appearance day after Janmashtami, but we don't know who Prabhupada is. And we had the same feeling as Indians have that, oh, Swamis, no, we don't want to listen to any Swami. All the sadhus are like that in India, and we didn't have any faith in Prabhupada, but just by associating with devotees, going there every day evening for Bhagavad Gita classes, and getting so much of love and affection from the devotees, we started to come. And the very next day, there was a Prabhupada disciple who told us that we have to chant some rounds, there are beads and you have to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And we said, okay, we can chant. And we said, how do we have to chant? So he taught us on Prabhupada's appearance day, we took up chanting. So that was very, very auspicious. So he told us, you chant. So we said, oh, we have to chant the whole, like, on the whole beat. So he said, okay, chant 4 times, like 4 rounds. So we said, okay. Then the next day we were on, like, after Prabhupada's appearance day, we came back and we said, oh, we chanted our 4 rounds. That seemed nothing. So he said, yeah, so you can chant more. So we said, oh, so chant more means what? How many rounds one has to chant? And he said, everyone in ISKCON chants 16 rounds. So we said, oh, why didn't you tell us then only? We could have started chanting 16 only. When we have to chant 16, why chant 4? So from the 3rd day onwards, we picked up chanting 16 rounds. So it was all Prabhupada's mercy. And initially, everyone used to say Jai Prabhupada, and we used to keep quiet. We used to say like Hare Krishna, and we used to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but we didn't have faith in Prabhupada. So when everyone used to say all glories to Srila Prabhupada, we used to keep quiet. We used to just look down. We didn't have courage to speak Jai Prabhupada because obviously we didn't have any respect or affection for him, but just by associating with devotees and by seeing what he has done in the United States, we really developed love for Prabhupada, and he has brought real change in our life. It is wonderful. And then we moved from Columbus, Ohio to, after 6 months, our job got over. So we were crying that we don't want to leave this place. Where are we going to go? And then Krishna mercifully arranged our next job in Chicago. And we didn't know that Chicago is even a bigger community than Columbus. And there are, like, in Columbus there are around 60 to 70 devotees, but in Chicago when we moved we saw 350, 400 devotees. So it was like a bigger family of devotees, a bigger family, and we are really happy in our Krishna consciousness. You want to share something?
No, I just wanted to share that because we are right now very new in Krishna consciousness, we don't have that much of faith, and like we are just trying to be in association of devotees to develop that faith because they have so much of faith in Prabhupada. But I just remember one thing what Prabhupada said, that somebody asked Prabhupada that what if Prabhupada, if Krishna is not there, like at the end of our life we find that there is nobody called as Krishna and this whole Krishna consciousness is something like fake. Then Prabhupada said, then you can at least enjoy that, you can at least feel satisfied that you had a good time and you had a blissful time, you didn't do anything sinful, you had a very nice time with, and you had nice prasadam and other things. But what if Krishna is there? Then what will you do? And so we just have that much of faith that in Prabhupada's words that Krishna is there and one day we can make our way back home, back to Godhead.
Thank you very, very much. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.